Yep, I can.
I'm gonna get off. I'm just gonna go on this side. Give it to Katie. One's for me. I'm gonna feed baby. Daniel's turn. Daniel's turn. Feed baby. Feed baby. Daniel's turn.
Is the baby going to get a Tubbies? Give the baby Tubbies.
There she is. Can you help?
No.
You take her out? You take her out?
Daniel, wipe a chin.
Daniel.
Daniel got wet chin. Could
Wipe your chin.
Could you wipe a chin?
No.
Take baby out.
No.
My name is Katie Gorman. I'm a speech and language pathologist. I've been working in the pediatric population for about 7 years. I met Daniel in July of 2000 when I did an initial evaluation. He presented with some significant receptive and expressive language delays in what he understood and what he was saying, and also his play skills. At the time, he was using some simple one-word phrases. He was following directions only if you were giving him lots of visual cueing, telling him where to go using lots of visuals. His play skills were really far behind in that he would only put blocks into a container, lift them up, dump them out on himself. Very repetitive. When you tried to enter his playing world, he had a meltdown, a tantrum. He didn't understand what you were doing. He thought you were taking everything from him. He would become very possessive, grabbing onto them. It was very distressful for him. We began intervention twice weekly in his home for hour sessions, along with, there was some occupational therapy and special instruction. In September of the same year of 2000, his family began some drastic dietary intervention, and we began to see some really nice improvements with Daniel. He began to expand his word length, his utterances. He began to follow some directions without cues. It was probably the most significant at least a month into using some dietary intervention, but it became so rapid, his progress with his play skills and his comprehension, that his goals changed almost weekly because he was gaining so much language so quickly. He was beginning to greet people spontaneously. He was attending to his environment. He was responding to sounds in another room. He began commenting on play. He was engaging with others, eye contact, excited about activities. His receptive language, he no longer required the dramatic visual cueing. I strongly, and I believe wholeheartedly, that he made progress not only because he really benefited from one-on-one intervention and some strong sensory integration input, but also the dietary intervention. I by all means don't think his progress would have been as great without the dietary intervention that the family was doing.
I am Daniel Knowles' teacher. He's in 3rd grade this year. I have a regular education classroom, and Daniel is a great part of that. He is succeeding in every way. Had his mother not explained to me that at one point he has a diagnosis of autism, I would not have known that. And I do have a background in special education and counseling, so I do feel that I would notice characteristics such as sensory characteristics or some learning problems, some social skills, that I am not seeing those problems with Daniel.
So how are you doing in school, and what kind of grades are you getting, and what are your favorite classes?
I get A's and B's in my classes. I'm mostly A's, and my favorite class is math, and my not so favorite is social studies.
You don't like social studies? What is it about social studies you don't like?
It's just like confusing, like learning about all these paths, and like get to do all these like Cornell notes and studying, and there's more projects than ever, and it's like
you don't like it, huh?
No.
If someone had to say, this is what Daniel Knowles is like, and if you had to define who you are and what makes you unique as a person, what would you say?
Um, amazing.
You're amazing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like so cool.
You are?
Yeah.
And you really believe that? What do you think it's like to have come from where you've been, to have once had autism and to now be recovered? What does that feel like?
It feels like I know, like I feel like I'm famous in some way and not. Like if I tell people that I used to have autism and they're like, "Whoa, really?" Yeah, like, but I don't really. It's not really something I blurt out. It's just something, if it comes up, sure I'll say it, but it's not something I say anytime I want. So just.
Okay. Is it something that you're you proud of that, or does it?
It does make me unique, like different.
Yeah.
Better have some qualities than nothing at all.
Yeah. Okay, Daniel, tell me about your friends, and how many good friends do you have, and what types of things do you like to do with them?
Like, I have about like 10 friends, and we like to swim and ride bikes and play video games and have sleepovers. We like to go on the computer a lot, look up videos, you know.
That was a horrible run.
I was like, whoa, seriously?
What was that?
Thorin.
He got flipped.
Tell me about what you remember, if anything, about when you used to have autism.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, I don't really remember a lot of it, and I only remember bits and pieces. Like, I can remember I always felt like angry all the time, and I just felt like I was never getting my way, and you wouldn't let me do anything or resist.
What do you love the most in the world?
My mommy.
Good answer. Okay. All right. Thanks for your time.
All right.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby.